What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Bruce Drop Him Off came back, and there's a full circle moment with him getting into it with Rakai of all people. Now, the circle starts off with AMP, one of AMP's founders, Phantom, and he talks about spies within streaming, which I think is an interesting concept. I didn't know if he was serious or not, but I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
But there's at least one streamer that's a spy. Confirmed. There has to be. Now, it's up to y'all to figure that shit out. But there gotta be at least one streamer that's a spy, like confirmed. No, it ain't me. It ain't me. I'm telling you, bro. Yo, hey, listen, y'all. Stay tagged, man. Stay tagged out there, man. Yo, this is crazy, bro. This shit get deep, bro. This shit get deep fast, gang.
So here, I don't know if Phantom's being serious. I do think that he's seen streaming develop, and it's gotten to such a mainstream point, the clips in particular, not the actual streams, because saying maybe a tenth, I would even say that far. 5% of the audience that sees streaming content actually watches streams. And Neon was one of the early people to notice this. So he spammed clips, and I don't even know how he affords the hundreds of thousands of dollars that he claims he spends a month on Clippers. But that made him popular enough to where he was getting collaborations with people like Iggy Azalea, NBA players. Like, I think he was he the guy that went to see Michael Jackson's like collection? You just start to see things and you're like, huh. So honestly, if anybody's a spy, I'm willing to throw it on Neon. But then you've got a clavicular coming into the game, and people felt like Peter Thiel was into that guy and invited him to a party, and he rejected it. But now people feel like, oh, he's funded by him, which I think is a little bit more tinfoil hat-esque. But for sure, when there is something that has this much influence, people with money, they don't want to lose their influence and power, so they need to adopt it somehow. But I think Phantom's kind of, he's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with this. I don't know if he's being serious. I just can't interpret it well enough. But Bruce Drop Him Off comes back, and yeah, he comes back with the heat. And he calls out who he thinks are the spies in the game. So I'm going to run you guys that clip right now.
Hey, all right, Rakai is a spy. Y'all want to know my next guess? I'm dead putting it all out there. I don't care. They might get me. I don't give a. They might get me. What did my mother? That Marlon, that a spy. He's dead sent from the aliens. Where the did you come from? I don't give a how good think you look. You a spy. What did my mother? You a spy. Stay far away from me. I don't want no spy. Easily. Next. Okay, I need 3. What's my third one? I feel like I have to go like it. I feel like it could differ out, right? It could be a male or a female. It could be, it could be anybody, right? No, bro. You got to think about it.
Now, I will say, after seeing this, Marlon is, I don't know if Marlon is a spy, because Marlon has no agenda. Marlon is, I'm not even going to say he's the bread and butter that they give you before a meal at a restaurant. He is like when you check into an Airbnb and sometimes they give you like a piece of bread, a cheap Airbnb where they greet you with something like a piece of bread or like a tostada or like I don't even know, just something like that. Like it's just something very plain, or like a tortilla. Like he's like a tortilla chip without the salsa. Now, that's not to disrespect the guy. Like I said, he seems like a really cool guy, like a chill guy. But an entertainer is something else entirely. So what agenda does he have? He doesn't, when people hear Marlon, they don't feel an emotion. Now, when people hear Rakai, oh boy, they're feeling rage, disdain, love, probably laughing, a full spectrum of emotions. And that's more likely to be a spy. However, you could say that a spy would want to go under the radar. So Rakai would more likely be a plant than a spy. A spy would actually probably be like Marlon, someone that's around everybody. You don't know why they got famous. You don't know how they got famous. You don't know why they got famous so fast. And there almost never seems to be anything negative come out about them. Like if you recall, Marlon, he was, I guess, like making out with cheating on some girl that he was with. That got brushed under the table really quickly. And she hasn't spoken much on their relationship ending. But he was also with some Love Island girl. Yeah, she spoke on it, but that kind of gets swept under the rug. I feel like these things would be major controversies for a Kai Cenat or anybody else, even a Lacey, right? Who's got a chill relationship, which is good for him. But with Marlon, everything just kind of just moves slowly along, and he's just around everybody, and he gets all of these opportunities. So Bruce drop him off might be onto something there. But Rakai did not enjoy being referred to as a spy, and he would go off. Yes, he's dressed as a Ninja Turtle, Donatello, to be, or maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I'm going to play you guys that clip of Rakai.
What Bruce saying right now is that me, Marlon, came straight from the government to spy on people.
Yo, gang, are you retarded, bro? Like, not even joking.
Guys, gang, come on, gang. I like a spy.
Ew! Yes! What are you? What is this? He doesn't mog me. No, bro, stop. No, he doesn't, bro. This is a sub 5 level Floyd.
Like, Bruce, gang, come on, bro. You old as
Your big homie is Casanat. Your big homie is Casanat. Without him, you're nothing. On God. On God, you're nothing. You are shit on the ground. You stupid little I own you. I own you. You stupid looking. I hate your lips. I hate your braces. I hate the way you breathe. Give me my spotted DYK back. I'm supposed to be that's my clover chain. Okay. Now I'm overly trolling. Now I'm overly trolling.
Bruce drop him off frequently takes breaks from streaming, and I think he just was on one where he said, yo, I'm coming back this stream and I'm gonna make sure I take over the timeline. So I don't think he feels this strongly about Rakai. I definitely don't think he likes Rakai, but it's funny to see Bruce drop him off start to get the you're old comments, because Bruce drop him off is what, 24, 25 years old, and Rakai is what, 17, 18. I mean, I know Rakai's girlfriend is 18, so he's got to be 17 at the least, 17, 18, and he's calling him old. But meanwhile, Kai Cenat is 24, 25. He's the same age as Bruce drop him off, and Bruce drop him off has been in the streaming game longer. The reason why I find this so funny is because Bruce drop him off was a Rakai. Bruce, not in terms of the content. No, never. Bruce drop him off was actually more chill back then. Bruce was 16, 17, streaming actively, and that's also why I think he has, or people feel like he has less experience in the real world, because he blew up very young, similar to Rakai. And he didn't get put on by anybody. He put himself on, so he had initiative in that regard. But he would always call people old that were like 23, 24. He was saying, man, you're old. You're old as hell. I'm 16, I'm 17, I'm 18. Y'all are old. And considering that he was a fan of underground rap and Uzi and all of that, which if you think about it, I really do wonder how much Plaque Max, he gives credit to Soul Illuminati, but how much did he get inspired by Bruce drop him off, of all people? Because if we're talking about underground rap music, Bruce drop him off was the first streamer that was popular, that was locked into that stuff. Aiden Ross was with the mainstream rappers, and Plaque Max after that, he was with like the new gen SoundCloud, most of which never made it anywhere. But Bruce was tapped in. He was tapped in with a lot of different stuff. So honestly, like Bruce was a little bit of an older version of Plaque Max in terms of content, like hip hop, basketball, all this other stuff. Granted, Bruce was more of a solo act, whereas Plaque Max was more collaborative, and Bruce didn't make music. But it's funny to see it come full circle. And I don't think that Bruce is, or he's not saying that, yo, I'm actually young, I'm not old. I like how he turns it into your big homies, Kai Cenat. But Rakai could just say, like, yo, Kai Cenat retired from streaming. Here you are, still streaming. Or at least it looks like Kai Cenat retired from streaming, which I think Kai Cenat is missing the game right now. There's always going to be a grass is the other side mentality, and I think when he's running into struggles with the fashion stuff, he's like, man, I'm kind of miss streaming. I miss my old community. I think he looks back on it fondly when he was first blowing up and he actually had a community and he wasn't just this big superstar face of streaming, Mr. Beast of streaming, like I like to call him. But Rakai is definitely not no damn spy. I do think that this back and forth is great for Bruce Drop Him Off. Bruce Drop Him Off should farm Rakai as much as possible. So that's the full circle. The full circle is that you have Phantom, who starts off talking about this. That's AMP. You have Bruce Drop Him Off, who's replies to this and points out some spies in Clover Boys. And then you have it circle back to Clover Boys, which is also AMP. But it also goes back to Kai Cenat because at one point in time, Bruce Drop Him Off was tight with Kai. And then Kai cut him off because he was talking crazy. He was moving like KD was moving. The Bruce Drop Him Off, the DEO files were the first to release. Before that mod, man, he's never trusting another moderator again, which he shouldn't. He should not be trusting. The only person that can trust their mods is academics. Grand Wizard, he can trust that guy. Now, there was another mod in the past that definitely was a complete freak show. But hey, that's a different story. But yeah, that guy, he is academics' right-hand man. But the majority of streamers do not trust your mods. These people just want content. And if you're going to be the content, if they expose you, they will do that in a heartbeat. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Is Rakai a spy, or is Marlon more likely to be a spy? But the thing is, Marlon doesn't even seem that bright. He's not dumb. He's not a dunce. He's not a fool. But he's kind of like a ditzy. I've never used that I don't think anybody's ever used that to describe a man. But there is a ditzy element to Marlon. And now I'm actually a little bit suspicious now, to be honest. Because his ascension, no pun intended, like in terms of numbers, is damn near unprecedented for somebody that you can't really think of like, yo, what was that one Marlon stream? Or what was that one Marlon clip? You can't. You just think of him associated with different girls, which you could say, I guess he farmed the relationship content. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Bruce, still entertaining as hell. I'm glad he's still on this type of timing. Yeah, let me know. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And hopefully, like that. This is how you know Bruce Drop Him Off is really locked into that. Like he beefed with Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat went away. He started beefing with his protege, with his son. He said, I'm taking him on too. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to see y'all on the next one.